Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Know Your Neutral Items. Right. And previously, we looked at drop mechanics. Just a heads up, we are still trying to understand what neutral items is and what it does and how it does it. So it's a prelude to actual items descriptions. So let's get on with it. So previously, we looked at drop mechanics and how we actually activate it and what happens when we activate it. And today we'll be talking about neutral item stash. Let's get to it. So, there is nothing like reading, as they say. So, let's get it. Each team has a stash dedicated for neutral items within their fountain areas. So you'd find one stash in your fountain areas, and these stashes are accessible to all players of the team. And this is accessible by every player, as we can see. So players can stash their neutral items there by either dropping it within fountain area or by teleporting it to the stash by right-clicking it. So very important if you don't know, if you didn't know before. Like if you're just a beginner, as I already mentioned, this is mostly targeting to any beginners who wants to uh, get a good start ahead, you know, before actually playing this game. So players can stash their neutral items by either dropping it within fountain area or by teleporting it to stash by right-clicking it. Unlike regular stash, neutral items can be moved to the dedicated stash from anywhere on map. Despite visual effect, teleport happens instantly. So you can actually shuffle around and have it available in your stash almost instantly. Moving on, a player can only teleport that gets better. Yeah. So a player can only teleport their own neutral items to the stash. So there is that catch. We talked about it earlier in our first episode. If you haven't, you can always go back and listen to it first and then come back to it. Neutral items of allies or enemies are dropped at fountains instead. Neutral items of allies cannot be seen in stash, only in own item service. So you see there are a lot of information out there. So let's read it again. A player can only teleport their own neutral items to stash, this first word, and the neutral items of allies or enemies are dropped at fountain instead. So it's not in stash, but you dropped at fountain instead. And neutral items of allies cannot be seen in stash, only in own items are visible. So only your items would be only own items are visible, not ally stash. You see? Yeah, natural items. So allies cannot be seen in stash, only own items are visible. Now, what it says, tokens are stored in stash as well, are visible to team. Stash also shows current status of all tokens found by team. So tokens are stored in stash, all right, and are visible to the team. Stash also shows current status of all tokens found by team. So it's not just yours stat, but the whole team stat can be seen from that stash. So now let's elaborate on this. When in stash, icon appears normally and stash status reads available. So when in stash, icon appears normally and status reads available. When equipped by a player, icon appears darkened and status reads equipped and shows players hero icon, which hero has it. When player's backpack, when it's in player's backpack, icon appears darkened and status reads backpack. So when it's equipped, it reads equipped. When it's in backpack, it reads backpack. And shows player's hero icon correct. That's cool. And when in player stash, an icon appears darkened and status reads stash, and also player's hero icon in gray. If it's in stash, it'll say stash. If it's in backpack, backpack. If it's in equipped, it'll show in equipped. Moving on. When it's in a player's courier, icon appears also darkened and status reads courier and shows player's hero icon in gray. When ground or when stolen by enemy, icon disappears. Darkened. No status is shown. So if there's no status shown, then it is not darkened. So it is either in ground or stolen by enemy. So these are telltale signs about what happens to neutral items in stash. Now, that is from this. Now let's move on to active stash, or what we have in here. In tier 1, you'd have Arcane Ring, Bloom Handle, Duelist Gloves, Faded Brooch, Fairy's Trinket, Lance of Pursuit, Occult Bracelet, Peephole, sorry, Royal Jelly, Safety Bubble, Seeds of Serenity, Spark of Courage, Trusty Shovel. In tier 2, we'd have Bullwhip, Dragon Scale, Out of Vizier, Gossamer Cape, Girl Ball, Light Collector, Orb of Destruction, Philosopher's Stone, Pupil's Gift, Specialist Array, Bambrace, Vampire Fangs, Whisper of Dread, Ceremonial Robe, Cloak of Flames, and these are from tier 3. Ceremonial Robe, Cloak of Flames, Crikey Coat, Dandelion Amulet, Defiant Shell, Bloom, Elven Tunic, Enchanted Quiver, Nemesis Curse, Grisiel Totem, Paladin Sword, Psychic Headband, Vindicator's X. And from tier 4, we have Ancient Guardian, Astratic's Cap, Avian's Feather, Havoc Hammer, Martyr's Blade, Mindbreaker, Ninja Gear, Rattle Cage, Stormcrafter, Telescope, Timeless Relic, Trickster Cloak, and last but not least from tier 5, we have Apex, Arcanist Armor, Book of Shadows, Book of Dead, Force Boots, Giant's Ring, Magic Lamp, Mirror Shield, Pirate Hat, Seer Stone, Station Desolator, Unwavering Condition. So these are our active lists, and we also have, I suppose, another list which is inactive list. I'm not sure what is that. What is that? Okay, so back to page. Active list, we covered it. So in active list, it's we have the list. There's some inactive list and unreleased. It should be coming soon, hopefully, with recent changes. Now, as we have seen, these are actually items of this series that we'll be covering in neutral items. So from our next episode, we will be actually looking into this Arcane Ring, and we'll be talking about it as per usual. And we will try to actually go faster this time, faster than earlier, which is we try to go at least 2 or 3 heroes, I mean 3 items on our episode. And sooner we finish this, sooner we can start looking into actual in-game items before we proceed any farther with other you endeavors and what situation might arise from there. We'll take it from there, but from now, so for this series at least, series of neutral items, your neutral items series, we actually try to cover at least 2 to 3 uh, item tier, I mean, item neutral items per week, per episode. So given that, I hope to see you all in our next episode where we would actually start looking into our neutral items and talk about them and get to know them better and how we can use them more, effectively in game. So hope to see you then. Till then, take care, be good to yourself and everybody around you, both in game and not game. Last but not least, good game, everybody. Good game.